Hello and welcome to Crypto News. Today is October 22nd, 2025, and the top cryptocurrency news is as follows. Moving on, we'll go to our news and start with our ETFs for today. We'll start with the Spot Bitcoin ETF, which on October 20th is at minus $40 million, while on October 21st, without BlackRock, we were at plus $266 million. For Ethereum ETFs, let me tell you, the picture is the same. On October 20th, it's at negative $145 million, while on October 21st, without BlackRock, we were at plus $99 million. Moving on to our companies, we'll go to SharpLink Gaming, a company that we saw buying Ethereum about a month ago. They announced that they bought $79 million worth of Ethereum last week. From our companies, we'll go straight to the cryptocurrency market and Kadena, whose price has dropped 60% in 24 hours. The main reason being that the team has abandoned it. Let's say that Kadena's price dropped 60% in just 90 minutes after the team's founder announced that they would stop maintaining the network due to market conditions. I also have the official announcement from Kadena, and in simple terms, Kadena is telling us, specifically the Ethereum Foundation, that they are stopping support for this particular chain because it's not generating enough money to maintain it. That's why they're stopping. Let's note that the network itself is open source and open to everyone, so anyone can continue to maintain it, but we have no idea who that will be now that the Ethereum Foundation is no longer maintaining it, and that's why we've seen the price drop. Then we will also look at Ethereum and see how it works internally, and how much power Mr. Vitalik has. I guess you all know that Mr. Vitalik has a lot of influence on Ethereum, but now we are learning this more formally. We will look at Mr. Péter Szilágyi, who was an Ethereum developer for years and started working on Ethereum in 2015. From the very beginning, he criticized the Ethereum Foundation's governance approach in a memo written in mid-2024, which was published just a few hours ago. In this memo addressed to the Foundation's management, he accuses them of having an elite leadership that will never relinquish control. Speaking directly to Mr. Vitalik in the same memo, he writes that Mr. Vitalik's focus, the direction of his research, his intellectual drive, his donations, and his investments absolutely determine which projects will succeed, with a very high probability. Continuing, he says that Mr. Vitalik's opinion also absolutely determines what is allowed and what is not allowed in the ecosystem in general. So the key to gray zone behavior is to tell someone close to Mr. Vitalik that things are good or that some changes are needed. Furthermore, it was emphasized that in order to support projects from the Ethereum Foundation, you just need to gather these 5 to 10 people around Mr. Vitalik so that you can pass what someone wants. Let's say he no longer names these 5 to 10 people, but from what I understand from the message he wrote, he is talking about specific people. He just doesn't name them. This particular memo, I'll have it in the description for you if you want to read the whole thing, and there are people who have read it, and one of those people is the founder of Polygon, but also the founder of Sonic, where these two founders of these particular chains say that the Ethereum Foundation has never helped them, even though they've been very supportive of Ethereum. Specifically, as I said, the founder of Polygon and the founder of Sonic have stated that even though they've tried to scale Ethereum, they've received little to no direct help or recognition from the foundation. Specifically, the founder of Polygon has stated that he hasn't received any direct support from the Ethereum Foundation, although he has been working with the main chain at the same time to drive adoption and scale, while the founder of Sonic has said that while he was building Ethereum, he had burned over 700 ETH to grow the Ethereum project. I tried to reach out to the foundation, but I never got a response. No DM response, no sponsorship, no endorsement, not even a retweet. So with that said, let me tell you that as far as the Polygon founder is concerned, I'll have what he wrote in the description for you. And Vitalik essentially saw that and responded by saying that he recognizes the effort that Polygon and its founder put into supporting Ethereum. So we learned a little bit about how Ethereum works internally, although it's something we already knew, that Mr. Vitalik has a lot of influence over the second largest coin in the cryptocurrency market, as he's also one of its main creators. And for the latest news of the day, let's go to the Solana Saga, which is losing security updates and support after the release of Seeker Phone. Moving on, Solana Mobile will stop supporting the Solana Saga smartphone and will no longer provide security alerts for that particular device, as they just announced on Monday. Let's just say that the last security alert for this phone was in November 2024, and since then they've told us that they will no longer support it. and the phone has been on the market for a little over 2 years. So those are the latest updates for this particular phone so you can stay up to date. And it's time to head to our favorite cryptocurrency market with Bitcoin at $108,000. The price went up and down yesterday, as you know, and is now in our support range. Let me tell you that we also had over $320 million in liquidations because the price was falling so much. Meanwhile, the big data we're expecting from the US economy is the core annual consumer price index, which is a key number, but since the US government is closed, we probably won't get it. However, the good news I have on that is that, as the White House economic advisor said, the US government shutdown is very likely to end this week, they assume, so maybe we'll be lucky and they can sign a document to get money for the US government to keep operating so we can see those numbers. Otherwise, we're still waiting. As far as this price goes, it's been very volatile because the market is still not sure what's going to happen with the tariffs that the US has imposed on China and what China is going to do. The big number that came out and kind of rattled the market a little bit is that metal exports and specifically magnet shipments from China to the US have declined for a second consecutive month. China's rare earth magnet shipments to the US dropped nearly 30% year over year in September, marking a second consecutive monthly decline. Now, why is this important? China, in many rare earth metals, as I told you, exports 90% of the world, so it's the only one that decides where that mineral goes and where it doesn't. And this mineral is not just a mineral that we throw in the trash to burn. It is one of the very basic materials used to make batteries for electric cars and electronics, like chips, tablets, cell phones, you name it. It is a very basic metal for such constructions. So if the US can't get this and other rare metals that China exports almost exclusively, as you understand, they are falling far behind in the technology game, which is the most important. So this number has shocked many. That wraps up the top news for crypto today. Is October 22nd, 2025. I'd like to remind you that the content you just watched is created for educational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice, but rather as investment opinion. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and feel free to comment. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.